프레임 밖에 있다가 한 끝나면은 바로바로 들어갈게. 옆에서 대기해. 한 팀에서 대기해. 첫 번째 그 하시는 주장. 주장. 여기는 first argument. 여기 대기해 주세요. 오빠 이거 킨 거야?
Gentrification first excite existing residents to relocate. Gentrification refers to the phenomenon of replacing the existing low-income natives by revitalizing the old urban areas and introducing places of the middle class or higher. With the development of the city, the larger the city, the process of suburbanization, in which the resident population spread from the center of the city to the surrounding area, and in the process, the suburbs develop with the concentration of capital, while the areas close to the city center become underdeveloped areas where low-income people who cannot afford to move to the suburbs live. As a result, there are cases in which the governments or local governments with redevelopments of revitalized underdeveloped areas, developers focusing on cheaper areas, developing them in combination with landlords, and in some cases, artists who gather in underdeveloped areas in search of cheap workspaces or activities by various activities. As a result of the urban revitalization caused by these various factors, the residential environment in the area improves and the overall value of assets such as real estate prices rise, but housing costs also increase accordingly, and the original low-income natives are pushed out of their residence without being able to afford them. Seongsu-dong is one of the representative examples of gentrification in Korea. Seongsu-dong, Seoul, has traditionally been an industrial area dominated by manufacturing industries such as leather, shoes, and wood processing, but the change began in the early 2010s when artists migrated in search of affordable rent. They transformed existing factories and warehouses into studios and galleries, infusing Seongsu-dong with a unique cultural attraction. This created new commercial spaces such as cafes, restaurants, and pop-up stores. And as real estate developers took notice, high-end residential complexes and commercial facilities began to be built as well. As development progressed, rents rose sharply, pushing artists and existing low-income residents to other areas for economic reasons. Seongsu is prime example of where we can find gentrification around us. It is accompanied by positive aspects of cultural revival and economic developments, but its negative impact on existing indigenous people can never be ignored. This suggests that the defense of gentrification is inevitable. Well, the agency of pandemic is a live action, removing patents on medicines and undermine the very innovation that makes these treatments possible. Hence, incentives pharmaceutical companies to invest in research and the development without the promise of the inclusives the right the try to develop new medicine, put the in niche team at time today having future global health resumptions. Gentrification boosts the curriculum. The revitalization of the curriculum benefits only new students and existing residents face economic difficulties. While gentrification claims to boost the economy, in practice, the benefits are largely limited to new residents. Existing residents face economic challenges due to rising rent and rising costs of living. The opponent claim introduce new cultures and trends. New cultures and trends replace existing indigenous cultures, undermining local identity. The introduction of new cultures and trends will replace existing ones, undermining the identity of the region. As traditional shops and cultural spaces disappear and new trendy shops take over, the distinctive features of the region will disappear. Third opponent's argument is increasing diversity. In reality, cultural diversity decreases as existing residents. Gentrification does not increase diversity, but actually results in a decrease in cultural diversity as existing residents. When economic pressure causes residents of existing diverse ethnic, cultural, and social backgrounds to leave, the region becomes rather ununited invited population composition. The first tenant claims is the new opportunities and job arise. These opportunities and jobs are only available to new residents, and existing residents are rather at risk of losing their jobs. Gentrification can create new opportunities and jobs, but these opportunities and jobs are primarily available to new residents. Existing residents are at risk of losing their jobs because they are pushed out of their jobs or because they are unable to adapt to the new economic environment. New residents' possibility positively affects the community. Social conflict arises as existing residents migrate due to the influence of new residents. Despite claims that new residents have a positive impact on the community, social conflicts actually arise as existing residents migrate. Culture and economic differences between new and existing residents contributes to the conflict and can weaken the community's sense of solidarity and lead to the collapse of the community.
The markets of regulation. Some people believe that the economy should be regulated by the markets and that the government should not intervene excessively. The stagnation of middle class incomes and the rise cost of living are the results of market competition. So the self-regulation of the market results will be allocated more effectively ultimate benefits for healthy development of the economy. Excessive government intervention may lead to market failure and hinder the natural development of the economy.
Arguing that gentrification is a natural part of economic development overlooks its many negative aspects. Even if gentrification is part of the economic growth process, it does not mean it is right. Firstly, just because gentrification is part of national economic growth does not mean we should accept economic development that harms sustainability and social equality. Economic development should consider not only growth, but as also sustainability and social equality. Gentrification often causes existing residents to move out, deepening social inequality and weakening community bonds. This can lead to social conflicts and unrest in the long term, which does not contribute to healthy economic development. Secondly, even if gentrification is a natural part of economic growth, we must take active measures to minimize its side effects and protect affected residents. Governments and local authorities have a duty to protect the relatively socially disadvantaged through public policies. They should control the rise in housing costs and support low-income residents to live stably. For example, they can prevent gentrification causes by rent hikes through relevant law revisions, and expand public housing supply to protect the Blue Node. Thirdly, opponents overlook the fact that the economic benefits of gentrification are not evenly distributed among all local residents. Gentrification mainly benefits wealthy external investors and new high-income residents, while existing residents and small business owners suffer from high housing costs, living expensive, and drastic environment changes. This deepens economic inequalities and hinders the healthy development of the community. Fourthly, opponents overlook the risk of losing cultural diversity and historical value if gentrification is not prevented. As existing residents live, their unique culture and historical heritage may disappear, significantly damaging the area's identity and charm. This drains the area's vitality, making all neighborhoods look similar and unsustainable in the long term. Therefore, to maintain and protect cultural diversity along with economic development, we must actively prevent gentrification. From the beginning, it is inevitable to regulate economic inequality because it never has positive consequence. There may be some degree of economic inequality in all societies, but gentrification can rapidly deepen inequality. In the process of gentrification, existing residents are expelled, and the process of further inequality should be prohibited. In addition, the degree and form of economic inequality can vary depending on policies and social measures, and controlling them is also an important social responsibility. In some cities, New York and Berlin, there are cases of mitigating economic inequality by successfully regulating gentrification through land control and stabilization and expansion of public housing. This suggests that economic inequality is not inevitable after all. In conclusion, regarding the claim that gentrification is a natural part of economic growth, we must emphasize the need for active measures and minimize its side effects and protect affected residents. Sustainable economic development must consider social inequality and cultural diversity. To achieve this, we need policies to prevent gentrification and implement them.
Second, individual responsibility. Supporters of this will argue what the latter of the middle class systems not largely from individual choices and everyone should take responsibility for their financial situation and improve their lives through through self-improvement and hard work. Instead of taking too much responsibility, governments should encourage individuals to stand on their own feet and stimulate their potential and creativity.
finance in resource allocation, some argue that the government successful votes for the middle class may lead to unfair distribution of resources. The middle class already has more resources and opportunities in society than other vulnerable groups, such as the poor and the low-income groups with the roommating skills too many resources and policies toward the middle class. It's would exacerbate social inequality and ignore the more need.
This discussion was divided into pros and cons of gentrification. Our main position was about forced relocation of existing residents, rising house prices and rents, and depending economic inequality. The opposition team's position was to revitalize the local economy, positive impact on the community, and new opportunities and jobs. We dealt with the social and economic issues of gentrification. The influx of middle class and higher classes replaces the existing indigenous people and spread to the periphery of society. As a result of urban development, the larger the city, the more suburbanization's process in which the resident population spread from the center to the surrounding area. And in this process, the suburbs develop with a concentration of capital, while the areas close to city center become undeveloped areas where low-income people who cannot afford to move to the suburbs. As a result, there are cases in which the government or local governments redevelopment to revitalize underdeveloped areas. Developers focusing on cheaper areas developing them in combination with vendors, and in some cases, artists flocking to undeveloped areas in search of cheap workspace and performing various activities. As a result of urban revitalization caused by these various factors, the area's residential environment improves and the overall value of assets such as real estate prices rise, but housing costs also increase accordingly, resulting in low-income natives being pushed out their residence without being able to afford it. The other team said that we can provide a better living environment for our argument. However, it intensifies economic equality in that providing a better living environment through gentrification is not evenly disturbed. This cannot be a solution to the underlying inequality caused by gentrification, and it can be seen that the correct interpretation of our argument has not been presented. There are many problems that are being dealt with in the modern world. Among them, gentrification is working in a direction of deepening economic equality. It is said that it can be socially helpful, but it cannot fundamentally solve the problem of inequality. That is all for presentations. Thank you.